Just like that, you have got your own workflow. In this video, I'm going to show you how you could take any n8n workflow and clone it for absolutely free. If you're still paying for templates, then you might want to check out this video before spending another $1. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Zania Ahmadi and I am a senior DevOps engineer and consultant, and I have been in tech for over a decade. I specialize in digital transformation and I help clients move from manual workflows into automated workflows. Some of my clients have been BP, Royal London Asset Management, Lloyds of London, Vodafone. I hold several of the Microsoft certifications and I specialize in automation and the cloud. Likewise, I've spent the last 18 months working on AI solutions. All right, I'm going to head over to Claude and give you a demo on how this works. So I have my own project called the n8n Workflow Builder. And by just typing in what I want, it will create me my own n8n workflow, which then I could just copy and paste into the n8n website. And I'm going to explain to you how this works. So it's got a best practices document, which I've uploaded. All of the links for all of these documents will be in the description below. It's got 6 or 7 different examples of different real world Json templates of n8n workflows. And what it will do, it would read all of these workflows and then create you your workflow based on this. Let me show you how it works. So a simple workflow that I want is create me a workflow where I can type in a WhatsApp message and it talks to ChatGPT, it does the research for me and then uploads it to Google Drive. And I am going to click go. What it will do, it will read the best practices. It will go through all of these JSON examples and templates from real world scenarios, and then it will create me back my JSON. Now, and when I ask it something, so for example, in this scenario, I want it to create me a workflow where I can type in a WhatsApp message and then it goes and talks to ChatGPT, it does some research for me and then uploads it to a Google Drive. When I press enter, it will create me that JSON. Now that JSON, I could take it and then just import it into n8n, and all of the flows and the entire n8n workflow will be built for me. So Claude is going to go ahead now and create us that JSON, which we can upload to n8n and make our lives a lot easier. As you can see at the top, it's going ahead and creating that workflow, which we can see already is including a WhatsApp trigger, which is exactly what we need. I'm going to let Claude go ahead and do its thing. Great, now we can see that it's completed and it said it's put a WhatsApp integration, ChatGPT processing, response handling, and Google Drive storage. So I'm going to download this as a JSON. Okay. So I want you to start a new workflow, and on the right here, click import from file. And we're going to upload the WhatsApp integration. And we can see it's giving us some steps. And look at that, that's already looking so great. I'm just going to tidy it up a little bit by moving these things down and aside. Great, now we've uploaded that and that looks really, really good. We can see here from the left that we have a WhatsApp trigger. It checks if it's a text message. If it is a text message, because I could upload a file to WhatsApp. If it is not a text message, or if it's not a string, it will give us an unsupported message reply. This part I assume came from the best practices. And then it will go over to the AI agent, which will talk to OpenAI. It will get back a response and then it will reply to the user. At the same time, it uses a Windows memory, and then it will follow this flow and upload it to Google Drive, which is great. That is exactly what I wanted. Now I have to go ahead and set up all of these triggers. So for example, with the OpenAI, I have to click on it and set up my credentials, which is going to want my API token so we can actually communicate with OpenAI. So I could set up my credential now and connect it to OpenAI. What you would want to do is you want to do this for all of them. And just like that, you have got your own workflow. And if you are confused about something or you're not sure how to do something, you could take screenshots. Now you could go back and speak to Claude and say, for example, if I wasn't sure how to set up my WhatsApp credentials, I could just say, how do I set up my WhatsApp credentials? It knows that you're talking about this specific workflow that you just uploaded. And because it has access to all the metadata, it will give you much better response. I think it's really important that you understand the prompt and how it works, Being able to understand the prompt and how it works will level up your prompt game in terms of prompt engineering. The way this prompt is structured is it has a role, a task, output requirements, verification, and then importance at the bottom. If we go over to this scientific paper, which is called Lost in the Middle, how large language models use long context, we can see from this graph here at the top, depending on the length of your prompt, if your prompt is more towards the beginning, the LLM pays more attention to the beginning parts of the prompt, and we could see here towards the end part of the prompt. So this prompt right here, I haven't just pulled it out my arse. It is designed based on science-backed research techniques on the best way to prompt LLMs. So at the top, it is really important to always give your LLM a role. So it puts on that hat and it thinks that is what it is. So this is the prompt in detail. You are an advanced n8n automation JSON generator. You have complete access to the knowledge base of 6 example workflows and comprehensive best practices documentation. That is what I put inside the knowledge base. Your sole purpose is to create a valid, importable n8n workflow JSON based on the instructions provided. You should provide JSON as an artifact. Now, using the provided documentation description or transcript, generate an n8n workflow JSON that adheres strictly to the patterns, structures, and guidelines found in the 8 example workflows and the best practices documentation. I guess this should be 8 as well. Output. Output only the complete valid JSON that can be directly imported into n8n. Ensure that all node connections are properly defined and required all parameters included. Ensure that all node connections are properly defined and all required parameters are included. The JSON must follow n8n's expected structure and formatting without any syntax errors. Verification. Before returning the JSON, make sure that you confirm that every node connection is correctly defined. Verify all the necessary parameters are present. Ensure the JSON structure completes with the specifications. Now, here at the bottom, we can see important, you must use the 6 example workflows and best practices documentation as a reference. Going back to this paper, we can see that it will pay a lot more attention to here. Important, use the 8 example workflows and best practices documentation as a reference to guide your output. So I think it was really important that you understand how this works, because it will put you one level above the rest. We are in the golden opportunity of AI now, and those that understand prompting better and how to get the best out of the AI will definitely excel compared to everybody else just writing, turn this into a JSON. I've also mentioned here transcript. So let's say I found a YouTube video which I want to follow the workflow. I could copy and paste that straight in. Let's say we want an n8n lead generation workflow. This guy says he's got a 50K a month n8n lead generation workflow. He's asking us to steal this, so we shall. I want you to go down here to the bottom, click on show transcript, and just copy all of this. Now I want you to head back over to Claude, write convert to JSON. It should do it anyway because we've added the instructions. Paste in the transcript and let Claude do its thing. Okay, right, that finished. I am going to download that as a JSON. Let's go back to our n8n. We are going to save our WhatsApp workflow. Let's create a new workflow. And we are going to upload that file, which is the lead generation. And just like that, we were able to import the YouTube transcript and turn that into a workflow, which is really, really good. So now you've got the skeleton. It's not going to be perfect. So you need to go and make sure all your credentials are working, run it a few times and fix any issues. But overall, and I hope you guys save a lot of time and money with this, and you could easily import different templates and sell them to your clients. Guys, I really hope you have enjoyed this video. Please subscribe and like, and I'll see you on the next one.